Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be getting some guidance from your higher self about a particular area of your life. So there are 3 groups to choose from in this reading today. For group 1, it's the Apophyllite along with this oracle card. For group 2, it's the Amethyst along with this oracle card, and group 3 is the black Tourmaline along with this oracle card. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and really feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, perhaps all of the groups that you're drawn to, and I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. Hi, group 1. You chose the Apophyllite. So I'm going to put that right over here. And we're going to start with this oracle card to get kind of a feel of the general theme of what area of your life your higher self wants to deliver some guidance or some messages about in this reading for you. So the card is Mooncat. And there's the artwork on this card. So I'm feeling very generally this is either to do with some kind of a cycle that you are breaking out of or that you're wanting to break out of. And you might be guided. There could be some signs that you've been receiving that it's time to kind of end a cycle with something or to start a new cycle. This can also be in regards to some kind of hidden aspects of an area of your life, some hidden truths, some things you might have some suspicions about that, you know, your intuition, your spidey sense, your gut instinct is telling you some information, maybe that something doesn't feel right, or that is kind of indicating about a potential opportunity that could be coming up, or kind of nudging you in a direction that you should be heading. And so you might have some kind of indecision about that as far as to really trust these instincts, or, you know, even recognizing if these are instincts or, you know, just maybe some kind of fear-based things or some illusions that are coming up. So I'm going to get some oracle cards to dig a little deeper into this and get some more clarification about what particular area of your life this could be in regards to group 1. Okay, so we've got poverty and thoughts. So right away, this is something like a lack mentality, maybe some kind of feelings that could have changed about a particular person. Maybe you're wondering if somebody you're in a relationship with is kind of moving on from the feelings that they've had, or if the feelings have kind of cooled. We've got toil and labor. So this could either be something in regards to work, or again, maybe the time and effort that's been put into, say, a romantic connection, and is that really paying off? You could be kind of grappling with this idea about sticking it out, or maybe moving on in another direction. We've also got message. So you could have received a message recently from somebody, and maybe you feel that you should be reading between the lines with this, or that there's more to it than meets the eye. This can also talk about, maybe you have this feeling that somebody might be on the brink of making an offer to you. This could be somebody you're in a state of kind of no contact with, or that you've broken up with, or the connection is somehow ended, and you've spent this time maybe, just really working on yourself, working on healing from this, but this person's kind of still in your thoughts. And so maybe you're having this instinct to reach out, or you're feeling that this person could be wanting to reach out to you soon. We also have main female. So this can resonate if, say, you resonate as a twin flame, and you identify yourself as the divine feminine. This could be a confirmation that this reading is pertaining to you, and maybe your masculine has been heavily on your mind, or you're feeling that your masculine is on the verge of reaching out after maybe a period of silence or not a lot happening in the connection. This can also be an indication, though, of, gender aside, that maybe you're having this kind of this questioning, or this feeling about, a relationship that's not really working out for you, and really putting yourself as a priority, maybe, delivering that message of wanting to kind of take a break from somebody, or break up altogether from the connection, so you can kind of put that focus back on yourself. And we've also got the Lovers. So this can definitely confirm that this could be about some kind of romantic connection, either somebody you're seeing currently or somebody from your past. So I'm going to get some tarot to get some more clarification about this for you, group 1. Okay, we've got the Magician. So this could again be in regards to maybe wanting to manifest a second chance with this person, either reach out to this person after some kind of period of silence between the both of you, or you could really be having this feeling that this person is on the brink of reaching out to you. You could also be wanting to manifest a different kind of partner for yourself, a different sort of experience in love, or to open up a new cycle with somebody, with this, person from the past, or even someone you're currently seeing, wanting to really kind of shift those energies. And we've also got the Six of Wands. So that really is a confirmation there about, wanting to kind of shift the energy into a more harmonious sort of vibration, shift from, any kind of lacked mindset, or, this kind of maybe feeling of loss of this connection, and really wanting to sort of move that away from that kind of depleted energy, back headed in the direction of, kind of shifting things onto better ground between you and this person. We've also got the Emperor. So this can be a confirmation, again, if you resonate as a twin flame, maybe you're the divine feminine watching this for your masculine. The Emperor, kind of gender aside, it definitely speaks about, that very action-oriented energy, as opposed to feminine energy, which is more receptive in nature. So this can be also something in regards to, with this moon cat, and, the moon and cats, and that all that intuition, that's definitely very, that's feminine energy. Again, gender aside, just speaking purely on an energetic level. So you could really be at a point of trying to kind of utilize your intuition and make some action for that, sort of transmute that feeling, that receptivity, picking up on the vibes that you've been getting, maybe even with thoughts, some telepathy, some kind of telepathic exchange between you and somebody that you're in, a disconnect or a separation from, and really wanting to take some action in the material world to, start a new cycle, maybe reach out, initiate contact with this person, or you could really be getting a feeling that, based on the energies you're picking up on, that this is on the horizon. So this could be something that, maybe a lot of time has passed. You've kind of worked on building yourself in a different direction from maybe the last time you were interacting with this person. And so there could be a little bit of hesitation on your part, or even sort of nervousness about maybe this is a long time coming, something that you've really been, kind of keeping in the back of your mind or deep within your heart space, and you're feeling a shift in that energy, and you're kind of wondering if this is, the time when that's actually going to happen, that reunion energy is going to happen. So we've also got the Fool, and again, that really confirms this this energy of a new beginning, wanting to start something new, a new cycle with this person, wanting to maybe discontinue, say, a runner chaser cycle and shift into something more of a solid connection where you guys are seeing eye to eye and you're coming together on mutual ground. Okay, and we've also got the King of Swords. So in terms of the communication, this could be very direct, honest, maybe even kind of bordering on blunt communication. This could be something, if you're having some kind of hesitations or fears about, you know, this person coming towards you, or, you know, the things that you might need to say to this person, there could be some wounds that still are existing that need to be hashed out before you guys can start a new cycle with each other, kind of move past this energy, maybe unstick this connection. You know, maybe it feels like so much time has passed, you know, that it's kind of, the connection is sort of turned to stone, it's kind of hardened, and you're wanting to, or feeling the energy shift to where kind of life is being breathed back into this, but there is some resolution that needs to occur. A heart-to-heart conversation needs to take place in order to really, you know, create that true opportunity and sort of take that leap of faith like the Fool does off into that new beginning. So let's get the guidance now from your higher self about this connection, or, you know, this instinct you're feeling, this intuition, kind of like following that. Is this the right time? Or is this person on the brink of, you know, making that approach back to you? Is this, you know, is this going to be the opportunity, the correct, you know, alignment of circumstances and energy to where, you know, a solid foundation can then be built, a new beginning in a more prosperous direction than maybe the connection was headed out in the past. So what does your higher self have to say about all of this? Group 1. Okay, we've got fellow travelers, support is all around you. So this is definitely your higher self encouraging you to, you know, lean on your spiritual team, really even tap into that higher self, tap into that intuition, that, you know, your intuition is a great support system for you. Follow the, you know, the instincts that you're getting, the signs that you're seeing. You're really being guided to trust that, to lean into that. Again, deliberately tap into your higher self through meditation, through reflection, through prayer, through, you know, quiet moments. And this can even be something where, you know, you can tap into that higher self and really open yourself up to receive that guidance and those messages from your higher self, either through you know, deliberately entering into a meditative state, or even just tasks that you do that are kind of repetitive, like doing the dishes could put you in a meditative state. Yoga could put you in a meditative state. Working out, walking, spending some time in nature. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be sitting down and doing an actual meditation where you're sitting quietly, eyes closed, you know, trying to clear your thoughts and just remain very open to what comes in. You can definitely reach that kind of like that mental and psychic state through other means, through other methods. And so I feel your higher self is really guiding you to trust maybe the nudges and, you know, the signs that you're getting during these kind of unconventional or sort of unstructured meditative states that you enter throughout your day. We've also got protected by angels. You are cherished by the angels. So that kind of ties in with that, you know, that support being all around and the fellow travelers, and, you know, your spirit team is really guiding you at this point in time. Your higher self is letting you know that the nudges that you're getting, the signs that you're getting, the synchronicities, that this is all coming from on high. And so any kind of hesitation or fear on your part as far as, you know, can these messages be trusted? Can you really, you know, is this connection safe? Is this the right time to kind of move into this new cycle, or move away from this person and into a new cycle of maybe a more independence, sort of breaking out of a runner chaser cycle? So any kind of hesitation you're having about taking action to create some kind of shift in the momentum, a shift in the energy, you're really being encouraged to recognize that your angels, your spirit guides, your spirit team, passed on loved ones, source, God, goddess, they are supporting you through through all of this, that this is all part of kind of like your sort of larger soul plan for this incarnation, that the experiences that you've been through with this person, the leg of the journey that you're on now, and even this kind of crossroads that you're finding yourself at, or, you know, these kind of subtle hints that you're picking up on, this is all part of, you know, this new beginning, either with this person or kind of leveling up on your own journey, independent of this person, of really, you know, balancing those masculine and feminine polarities within self. So again, like tapping into your higher self through meditation, being open to that, you know, receiving those messages and that guidance. This is also your higher self letting you know to, you know, be open to receiving messages through, you know, dreams, through maybe seeing feathers in your path, just different ways that your angels or your spirit guides or spirit team or passed on loved ones have of communicating with you. And those are different for, you know, each of you. But really, when you're seeing these things, you can take that as a wink or a reassurance that, you know, you are supported in this transitional time, and you're always supported on your path. We've also got Mystic Healer. Healing energy flows through you. So this is really your higher self letting you know that, you know, this is a time of healing in this connection, both of you independently, but then also in terms of the connection in general, that whether you're getting this indication to kind of move in a different direction, to sort of discontinue maybe a repetitive cycle with this person, like a runner chaser cycle, that really opens the door to both of you kind of stepping into this healing journey independent of each other, to really do some of that work on self, some of that shadow work and some of that ascension work as well. But for others of you that have been in this period of separation, you know, of distance from this person, and you're feeling that energy shifting back in the direction of maybe they're coming back around again, or you're getting some kind of indication of that, or you've gotten an actual message and you're really not sure how to proceed at this point in time, your higher self is advising you to really, you know, be open to the healing that is available. If this is in the form of maybe this person extending an apology to you, or, you know, even with that thoughts in the message, you could be getting sort of energetically from a distance, you're really feeling this loving energy from them, maybe even kind of like kundalini energy. And it's something that you're really maybe not sure if it's coming from this person, or, you know, what to really make of that. And so your higher self is kind of advising you to just be open and receptive to that, kind of graciously accept that, and, you know, understand that as that energy kind of is sent to you and received by you, that kind of it kind of almost feels akin to like Reiki energy. If you're familiar with Reiki healing, if you're not, you might want to Google that. But with Reiki, it's, you know, really tapping into kind of this universal energy, and that being channeled then into the recipient of the Reiki. And then the recipient of the Reiki, it's with the understanding that their own soul, their own body, their own aura will sort of receive that energy and apply the healing where necessary. So unlike, let's say you're getting a massage from a masseuse, and you'd go in and say, my neck hurts, and so, you know, they're rubbing on that particular spot. With Reiki, you might say, well, I've been having these kind of neck pains, and sort of that energy is focused on that area. But then it's with the understanding that could, you know, that pain or that discomfort could be indicative of, say, like a chakra imbalance, or some kind of maybe tears in the aura, in one of the, you know, the etheric sheath of the body. And so that Reiki energy, it's sort of, it's received by, you know, your more subtle energy bodies, and then kind of applied where necessary, sort of on its own. That kind of self-healing generates. So it really initiates this process of, again, healing the self sort of from the inside out. So I feel that can definitely be something you're experiencing right now, is, again, this kind of energy from afar, or even, you know, in the 3D, having maybe a heart-to-heart conversation with someone, it really opens up then this opportunity for both of you to, heal from some things that you might have been kind of carrying with you, some kind of wounds of the past, some lack mentality. And this could be something where, it really, again, helps to kind of heal this connection that might have kind of cooled off, or you could be in kind of a stony period with this person where there's not a lot of momentum happening. It could almost be like a connection sort of frozen in time. And as this energy shifts, then there's this opportunity to really bring some healing to yourself, to this other person, and to the connection, or even just both of your heart chakras in general. So your higher self is, again, really encouraging you to, stay receptive to that, be receptive to the healing that wants to come in whatever form that might be. So get these cards, get some more kind of guidance from your higher self about all of this for you, group 1. Okay, so we've got ally in disguise. Discover the hard to find blessing. So I feel that this is really your higher self with all of that kind of purple there. That's reminding me of sort of like third eye and crown chakra energy. So again, being really open to, trusting your intuition, open to the energy that you're receiving, the healing that you're receiving, maybe from this person, from a distance, or even the healing that comes through as you have this interaction with them, this heart-to-heart conversation, really being open to the healing that wants to come in, even from the higher realms, in regards to maybe some circumstances around this connection, or, healing for both of you in this period of separation, of silence, of stoniness. And sort of as that healing comes in, that energetic healing, it can help to kind of melt some of these blocks between you both and really generate the opportunity for a new beginning, and kind of shifting the connection, the energy between the both of you at the very least in a more harmonious direction. I feel that this is also your higher self kind of advising you to sort of maybe reframe the way that you're looking about your current circumstance with this person, or past experiences with them, and to maybe reframe the way you're viewing some of these things, and to really recognize the blessing in, kind of in disguise in even the most difficult circumstances that you've been through. Because on some level, it has really prompted you, and will continue to prompt you, to go deeply within, to kind of identify some core wounds within self that may have been triggered by this person, or even some core wounds within self that could have, attracted this person to you, or even in the sense of both of you kind of mirroring some wounds within each other, and really, kind of acting as that mirror to each other, sort of reflecting those kind of sort of wounded parts within self in the form of another. And that, once you get past that kind of hurt and that disappointment and whatever the circumstances in the 3D of the connection, and maybe again entering into kind of a cold or stony period with this person, your higher self really wants you to recognize this time period, even this period away, where maybe the connection is just in the form of telepathy at this point, or there's been some distance, that this really has been a blessing for you. It's afforded you the opportunity to dig deep and to do some deep soul work, and some deep cleansing, and some healing, and really kind of facing yourself, really getting to know yourself on a deep level, even through the avatar of somebody else. And so this is something that reframing that mindset, even to the things that you've been through, the things you're currently going through with this person, that can also open you up to some of this healing energy. If you shift more into a state of gratitude for even the most difficult lessons, and the opportunity to sort of rise beyond those into a more empowered version of self that has provided you. So I'm going to finish this reading for you, group 1, with one of these affirmation cards from your higher self. Okay, it says, play. Among the grass and wild violets lie undisturbed little secrets to uncover. So that's a great closing message, and that I feel really fits in with that theme of kind of that intuition and, maybe just following the signs that you're getting, trusting your intuition, trusting that, there's a lot happening behind the scenes, even in this connection, or trusting, perhaps at this point in time, you and this person are just kind of still on your own separate journeys of self-discovery and healing. And so the connection is primarily energetic at this point in time. And, again, your higher self just really wanting you to trust that, trust the messages you're receiving from this person that way and the energy that's being exchanged. But this is also your higher self letting you know that, in the midst of this transition, as this healing energy kind of comes in, as, you've done the shadow work, you're kind of working on yourself, and that can really take a toll, that energy coming in, and as it's being kind of processed and sort of incorporated in the up-leveling of the physical body and the etheric bodies, that can be very draining. It can be, very kind of emotionally pressing. And so your higher self just wants to encourage you to really take some time to, maybe spend some time in nature, just doing things that make you feel lighthearted, make you feel really rejuvenated and, kind of youthful, things that are not so serious, that, are just kind of lighthearted, so that you can really help to balance out within yourself some of this heavy energy that you've experienced, some of this heavy energy work that you are either consciously going through, or that is happening on a higher level, kind of from the soul self trickling down into the 3D, and that can really help to, bring some clarity to you, help to ground your energy, and really give you the stamina that is necessary to either end some cycles that have been going on, or to really take that leap forward to beginning a new cycle. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you would like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Amethyst. Put that right over here. And I'm going to start with this oracle card to get kind of a general theme about what area of your life your higher self has some guidance or some messages about today. So this card says Wanderer. So this could be in regards to maybe you're considering taking a trip or relocating somewhere, or even just, I feel maybe like traveling the road less traveled, kind of shifting course in your life, shifting direction in some way that, maybe there's been something you've been working toward for a long time, a certain lifestyle that you've had, a certain way of being, a certain way of looking at the world, and that there's some kind of shift in perspective that's happening, or you're starting to see things from kind of a wider lens, and it's really, something is kind of compelling you in a different direction than maybe you had previously been headed, sort of like a course correction, or a change in trajectory. So I'm going to get some of these oracle cards to get some more specifics about what this can be about for you, group 2. Okay, so we have mature man, we have community. So right away, I'm kind of feeling with these two that it's, maybe you've been following in some kind of footsteps of like a family legacy, or a way that, people in your ancestral line have been doing things, certain traditions, certain kind of belief systems, or even like family structures. Maybe this is even, kind of broader than that, a community of, this could be like a religious community, or even a spiritual community, or, just some kind of like social structure, even of sort of these long-standing and established traditions that, you've really, maybe you grew up in that, you were sort of raised in that. It's part of your culture even perhaps, but, like with this Wanderer card here, I'm feeling that, you're having this urge to kind of explore something outside of that. We've also got courtship, main male, thoughts, and marriage. So this can definitely talk about kind of a shifting belief system about what, marriage looks like, what relationships look like, maybe the type of partner that, your family or your community had expected you to be with. And, maybe this was even somebody that you did end up getting married to, or, a certain type of person that you have only ever dated, and something has kind of really inspired you to sort of look beyond that, look beyond the expectations, look to kind of the wild card, the person, maybe it's a particular person so maybe you're the divine feminine watching this, and this could be in regard to, say, a masculine, and that's gender aside, it could be male or female, but it's somebody who you can kind of seeing yourself growing old with, that is maybe outside of the kind of partner that your family or your community would expect for you to have. This could be somebody that, is from a different culture, a different religion. Maybe, again, you're already in some kind of a relationship, some kind of marriage with somebody, you've been dating someone long-term, you're engaged to somebody, but you're having this desire or this interest in maybe getting a divorce, and perhaps that's something that's really frowned upon by your family, by your community. Maybe it's something that, nobody in your family line has gotten divorced. People could have stayed even in unhappy marriages simply because they didn't believe in the principle of divorce, the concept of divorce, maybe for, religious reasons, economic reasons, or just, some kind of cultural reason. But this is definitely talking about really thinking outside of the box with that, or even, maybe you've come from a family line or a culture that's really into traditional marriage, and that's something that's just, it really doesn't resonate with you. You might have an alternative lifestyle that you might want to explore or express. Maybe you're starting to, because of, the family that you grew up in, or just what you've seen around you, maybe you're somebody who doesn't really, believe in marriage, that you would want to just kind of do a common law marriage sort of thing, where you're just cohabitating with somebody long term, some kind of mutual partnership without actually, taking those steps to legally marry somebody. But this can, again, it's really feeling like maybe somebody outside of your culture, somebody of a different religion, just really having this desire, perhaps inspired by a specific person, or even just you're calling these values that you were raised with, or that you're, currently sort of you've been participating with, it's resonated with you, but some kind of shift has happened. Maybe some kind of spiritual awakening has happened or is happening, to where you're really calling those values into question. And specifically in this reading right here, it is focusing, because this could of course be in a larger scope, but this is definitely talking about in the capacity of relationships, partnerships, and specifically types of partners. Maybe the type of partner that, your family considers for you to be the ideal mate for you. It's just not something that you're resonating with, and you're kind of having thoughts of a different person in particular who might not necessarily be approved of by your family or community, or that dynamic might look different than what you've been raised to want for yourself. You've been raised around, or taught to, this is the way things are done, this is the natural progression of things, this is even the timeline of when these things happen, and that there's been some kind of shift for you. So let's get some tarot to look a little deeper into this for you, group 2. Okay, so we've got the Empress. So if you are a divine masculine watching this, this could be in regards to, an Empress, a divine feminine, who is really outside of the box, say from the type of person, the type of partner that your family or community would want for you, would expect you to be with. And, this person, maybe this could even be like twin flame energy, for example, that it's really sort of awakened you to a new possibility for yourself, a new type of person, or a new specific individual that you could really see yourself with, that, now with this kind of awakened perspective, with this sort of new vision, that this is the person that most resonates with you. And it could be, again, very outside of what was expected for you, or, what others in your community or family, the types of relationships, or the type of specific partner that they were with, the dynamics of that. If you're a divine feminine, though, watching this, this could be a confirmation for you as well. So maybe it's a masculine who's of a different culture, of a different religion, or just the dynamic with that person would be different than what you were kind of taught and raised is sort of a linear progression in terms of love and romance. So we also have strength, and that's really talking about, that you're trying to summon this courage to either make this proclamation to your community, to your family, that, the expectation they have for you, you see something different for yourself. You're trying to muster that strength to really course correct or shift your trajectory away from even more of a typical or a traditional type of relationship or a marriage, in the direction of something, that's, maybe a little more progressive, or something that's, a little less sort of bound by clauses of legal and, kind of religious marriage ceremonies, or, kind of the bounds in that sense. And so this could be something where, you're at this point of really being on the brink and really having this urge to step into your power in the sense of, expressing your true desires, despite what, your community or your family might think. We also have the Four of Wands. So this is confirmation there of that, that stability, that marriage, that partnership. This is also the 1111 card. So this can be another sign that this could be a twin flame that you're watching this for. Somebody that you've met that has really shifted your perspective on things, really changed your ideas for yourself as far as what you want, as far as what you can imagine is possible, and what is going to be most fulfilling for you in the long term. And this could really, be something which could cause some disruption. Maybe you're currently with somebody, or, you again had a certain type of partner, a certain way that like the family structure looked, based on your culture or your ancestry. And, this person that has come into your life, this twin flame, is really, again, kind of initiated sort of a spiritual awakening, kind of this opening of your eyes to new perspectives and new possibilities. So we've also got the Seven of Wands, and this is really talking about, that you have this kind of higher perspective now. You want something different for yourself than maybe what others want for you, or your expectations for yourself have changed. Your ideas have changed. Your ideas around love have changed. And the level you were operating at before, it's just not resonating with you. The expectations maybe that others have put upon you as far as the type of person who is best suited for you, or the type of what a marriage looks like, what a relationship looks like, what dating looks like, the type of person that fits that bill, the type of person that kind of fits into that mold, that you've kind of moved beyond that, and you're having a very hard time. Maybe even people in your community or in your family, if you've kind of, made some hints at this, or you've kind of expressed this, or you're sort of moving away from sort of that more traditional or what's expected of you, this could be something that's very, confusing for them. You could be getting a lot of pushback from your family, from your community, as far as this kind of deviation off of the course, off of the roadmap that like everybody else is following and has followed, that you're doing at this point in time. So we also have the Eight of Swords, and this can indicate, that you're feeling very trapped, that maybe you were feeling very claustrophobic. And again, this kind of like standard that your community or your culture or your family has had for you, these expectations that have been placed upon you. And you're really in this process of, again, summoning that strength and courage to really make, this declaration through action, and even through like words, through a conversation, maybe with multiple people. This could even be, ending a marriage, kind of moving out of that. You could be sort of feeling trapped and bound in that sense to a previous commitment. But you've met this other person that has really just awakened you to a whole new way of being, and has really awakened your heart to a new perspective of what is possible, and that's the direction you're wanting to move in toward, this empress, this abundance of love, and just this kind of like this overwhelming feeling of beauty emanating from the inside out. And you could be really in the process of kind of unsticking yourself from a lot of things right now, kind of working out the logistics of how to, again, maybe like end a current connection, end a marriage, or really just kind of sever yourself from some kind of like lineage pattern of types of partnerships, or the way that marriages or relationships look like. So let's get some guidance from your higher self about this, group 2. Okay, so we have embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. So this is really your higher self kind of guiding you to be very excited about this kind of awakened perspective that you might have. You're in this period of metamorphosis. This change can be scary. Having this conversation, or, maybe there's this feeling of kind of that you might be disappointing some, family members, or kind of a tradition or a culture, something like that. And so you're really being guided to kind of shift that shift that perspective to one of, that this is an exciting adventure, that maybe you were feeling kind of stuck. You were feeling just sort of in a rut, kind of dissatisfied, and like there was something more. And then you've encountered this person that has really awakened that for you. And so your higher self is really encouraging you to lean into that, lean into those feelings, that feeling of passion, that awakened feeling that this, this other person or this other type of person or this other concept of, relationships and what's possible, that it's almost like you're sort of like shifting, you have this opportunity even to kind of shift paradigms maybe that have been passed down through your lineage of, maybe people staying in unhappy marriages, and you're the person that's going to break that cycle. You're the person that's going to shift the course toward, pursuing one's highest good, toward choosing happiness, choosing a fulfilling, life, a fulfilling life experience with a partner that you resonate with, as opposed to staying in a situation with somebody that, your family approves of for you, or, that makes sense because you're of the same culture, you're of the same religion. But instead you're kind of, you're blazing this new trail, you're sort of shifting this course, and your higher self is really, they're letting you know that this is a very exciting opportunity here, that with all the change and kind of how scary that might be, and conversations that might need to take place, that really this will work out for the best. It's for everybody's highest good. We've also got ascending the mountain, keep going forward. So your higher self just again letting you know to keep persevering, keep on this path, that you're on the right path here, breaking out of these cycles of the past, maybe kind of like ancestral cycles, cultural cycles, that you're kind of forging your own path. You're going off on your own adventure, and your higher self is really encouraging you to follow that passion, follow that heart's desire. And we also have fellow travelers. Support is all around you. So definitely, your higher self is supporting you through this, is giving you nudges, is, giving you that encouragement to kind of push to really pursue this heart's desire, your heart's fulfillment, and, living your best life in this lifetime. And, if you're feeling this kind of nervousness, or, you're feeling like this is very scary, kind of like breaking out of this mold or breaking out of this pattern, your higher self is letting you know that, you're supported in this, in kind of the unseen realms, in the realms of spirit, by, your spirit guides. Other ancestors are cheering you on as well for really being the one to kind of break maybe a pattern, an ancestral pattern of like a particular way that things should look, or, the types of people that one should be with, that, you're setting out on a new course. You're making a new paradigm possible for your lineage, for those to come in the future. You're setting a new example of another way of doing things, another reality, other options out there for people. And you have the support of, all those who weren't able to break out of that mold, who weren't able to break out of maybe unhappy marriages, in your lineage, in your kind of like your family lineage, that they're definitely supporting you through this. They're encouraging you to be that one to, just do something different, to follow your heart. So let's get another message from your higher self, group 2. Okay, we've got the reward. Celebrate your magnificence. So your higher self is again just really cheering you on, like with the strength card. You're demonstrating a lot of courage by even just admitting this to yourself, that you want something different, that you're viewing that there's a different reality for you, that you want something other than what you were maybe told to expect, or, a road that you had already set out upon, that, it takes a lot of courage to sort of like break trail, to kind of like shift that trajectory. And it's difficult work, and, it can be very scary to break out of habits and patterns, and, kind of like, even commitments that you have to somebody, even if it's, you're in a marriage and, you're wanting to get a divorce, that can take a lot of courage and strength. But your higher self is letting you know that, through these difficulties, you will come out the other side, and the reward will be that you have followed your heart, that, instead of just living out your life kind of wondering what could have been, with this feeling of kind of like longing and regret, that you're being guided and pushed to kind of, again, follow that heart, to sort of deviate from the norm, from the pattern of those around you or those who came before you. And the reward in that will just, it'll be even the staying true to yourself, that's reward in and of itself. But I feel that this is your higher self also letting you know that as you're pursuing that, maybe it's a particular person, like a twin flame, for example, that there is great reward in the sense of a very filling and abundant life that you can have together with this person, and just a very rich and lovely experience of love that is possible for you, that is here, that is, making itself known to you. And that by following that, by pursuing that, as opposed to just kind of shelving that away as, not something that's possible, or not something that, you have the courage to really pursue, to really undo some other things in order to free yourself up, in order to make yourself available for that. That when you instead choose, the other path of, again, following that heart, it's, the partnership that you can then hope to experience, this kind of like very honest and sort of ascended love. It's the rewards for that are definitely beyond what you might have experienced previously in terms of, the giving and receiving of love in previous connections. So I'm going to finish this reading for you, group 2, with one of these little affirmation cards from your higher self. Okay, so we have wallflower. Look for the crack in the concrete to find your way out. So that's a great confirmation here. Great closing message from your higher self as far as, this kind of ascending the mountain, sort of breaking out of this mold, breaking out of this pattern, maybe this kind of generational pattern, this kind of cultural pattern that you might be feeling kind of bound and tied to either expectations or even specific circumstances, a current marriage, a current relationship, or, something of that nature. But your higher self is just letting you know to, keep following the signs that a way is being made for you, that, there's a reason that this connection or this spark or this desire for something more, that has, become known to you. You are intended to be the person to kind of break a cycle for, many generations, or, to kind of break out of this cultural pattern or this societal pattern, to be an example to others within your family line and even those around you of, really, again, following your heart, pursuing that passion, pursuing that, love, leading with love. And so your higher self just wants you to, again, follow the signs that you're getting. Just really keep your eye out for opportunities to, step into that power, step into that truth of your heart, and that a way will be made known. And, stay strong, summon that courage, summon that strength to really move in the direction that your heart is calling you, and a way will be shown to you. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you want a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the black tourmaline. Put that right up here. And we're going to take a look at this oracle card first, and this will be kind of the general theme of the guidance or messages, what that's going to be about today from your higher self. So this card says eccentric. And I'm really feeling that this is talking about maybe the way that you move through life. You could be really feeling that you're having a hard time finding your soul tribe. You're having a difficult time finding people that are resonating with you. Or if you step into your authenticity or really speak your truth, how will that look? How will that appear to your community, to your friends, to your family? Will people resonate with you? Is this going to be something that, can you find like-minded individuals? Are you going to be well received? Or is this something where, it's just going to be like largely misunderstood? Maybe you've gone through a lot of your life being largely misunderstood. You might also resonate as, say, like a starseed, for example, and you're feeling just very kind of like not from this earth, just very, having a very difficult time in this incarnation, really fitting in with society, or, really finding your place in the world, really finding that passion and that purpose. You might have different kind of ways of looking at the world, or, different values than those around you. And it could really be something where, it weighs heavily perhaps upon you as far as, will you ever find your place? Will you ever find like-minded people? Kind of what's your purpose? Why did you even incarnate on this world in this lifetime? What's the purpose of all of this? So let's get some more oracle cards to get some clarification about what this is about, like what specific area of your life this kind of general theme is about. Okay, so we have concern, community. So yeah, again, this vibe of, maybe you're having a hard time really finding that soul tribe, finding like-minded individuals. You might be very just kind of on a solo journey at this point in time, or you could have been for a while. Might just have a difficult time kind of resonating with other people, or, really interacting with people that are kind of on the same level as you in terms of, your perspective of the world, your values, the things that interest you. And we've also got courthouse. So this is really talking to me about, again, really finding your place in the world, really fitting in with the world. Maybe you're just, your ideas of what you want for yourself, they're very non-traditional. They don't really fit in with kind of the way that the herd is moving, so to speak. So this could be something where, you're finding it very difficult to find your place in the traditional society as it is, presented as the expectation in terms of, even certain stages of your life, kind of milestones, or, even just what you do day to day. This could be something where, a typical 9 to 5, it just doesn't really suit you. You might have more of an artistic temperament, for example, and you're really having a difficult time finding a way to kind of fit that in and create some kind of structure of normalcy for yourself. So we've also got coffin, marriage, and journey. So with the coffin, the courthouse, and the marriage card, I'm feeling that some of you could be going through a divorce as well, or you could have recently gone through a divorce. And this could have been, again, just a different kind of like view of things. You could have had gone through a spiritual awakening, and a partner that you were with, you just weren't on the same level with this person anymore. You weren't resonating with this person. Your kind of like views of life, your expectations, what you wanted out of life was different. And so, you know, the marriage came to an end. There was a divorce, or you're in the process of a divorce, kind of moving away from this person, or, you know, from a lifestyle that you might have, you know, just kind of settled for, or, you know, at one point in time been happy in, but, you know, something has shifted for yourself. And, you know, maybe you're on this, again, kind of spiritual journey now. You're setting off on that. You're kind of breaking away again from these very traditional ideas. Maybe again, the 9 to 5, or, you know, a traditional marriage is just not something that really, it doesn't really suit you. And you're really having a hard time finding other people that sort of resonate with what it is you want for yourself, what it is that you want out of a partnership even. You might be experiencing some kind of like just this feeling of loss, of really being kind of lonely in a romantic sense of, you know, maybe you want to get married, you want to have somebody to settle down with, but you're just really not resonating with anybody. You're really not, you know, maybe sharing the same spiritual values with somebody, or, you know, the same kind of like ideas of the world, or ideas of what a partnership looks like. And, you know, you could have been quite definitely on some kind of journey into self, an ascension journey, or just really, you know, you've been exploring, kind of trying to find that partner, find your somebody. And, you know, you could be getting to this point of, you know, maybe you're getting older, for example, and you're getting worried that you're not going to find that person, that maybe you're just going to be alone, that there's not going to be anybody that resonates with you. So definitely a feeling of kind of being isolated, sort of out in the cold, and just really, you know, you're on this period of exploration right now in terms of really trying to find your people, find your soul tribe, find, you know, that partner that resonates with you, that counterpart energy, somebody that can really, you know, complement you, to really encourage you and sort of be that that cheerleader, that kind of that support, but then also really challenges you to step into that best version of self, to, you know, really take ownership of your healing journey and your growth in this lifetime, but at the same time is just, you know, very cognizant of, and, you know, very enthusiastic of the accomplishments, the milestones that you reach, the ways in which you step into that full potential, you know, that you are living that authenticity, living that truth. So you could really have been on a journey for some time, or, you know, just really feeling that the people that you're coming across in a romantic sense or otherwise, they're not resonating with you now or anymore. And so you're kind of at this place of trying to find where you fit in this world and in this life. So let's get some tarot to get some more clarification about this for you. Group 3. Okay, so we've got the 10 of Wands. So it's definitely confirming there this sense of burden that you've been carrying around, almost like a heavy heart is what I'm feeling, that, you know, maybe some disappointments in love, or, you know, disappointments in friendship, or just not really having anyone that you're resonating with at a deep level. You're kind of going it alone, and almost feels like you're carrying the weight of the world all on your own, and you're really kind of seeking a partner, or, you know, at least seeking some like-minded individuals that can kind of empathize with you, that sort of share your perspectives and can, you know, share in the kind of the worldview you have, or, you know, your views on spirituality, that you can really, you know, have these very meaningful interactions with these, you know, also with the Queen of Swords, these, you know, really heart-to-heart conversations, really in-depth, really searching for people that you resonate with intellectually, maybe that you know, share common interests with, or, you know, common views, common spiritual practices with, somebody that you can, you know, just really talk about your spirituality with. Maybe you don't really have anybody in your life that is spiritual. You don't have a community right now. So it's just kind of, you're alone almost with your interests. you're alone with your perspective, or it feels that way at least. And, you know, you've been on this search, on the hunt for others who resonate with you, who are interested in the same types of things that you are, and that you can really, again, have this like interaction with, this really, you know, dynamic interaction with, this mutual exchange of ideas. Maybe not so much a lot of the kind of small talk, but maybe you're, you know, really into some in-depth things. It's very, again, kind of like spiritual topics, or kind of like outside of the box kind of perspective. Something that's not, you know, the typical, not the norm, not, you know, part of this herd mentality, but this very kind of awakened perspective on life and on the world, on humanity, on, you know, the soul, all of these things, past lives, you know, you name it, anything, anything that fits into that realm of spirituality, tarot, even divination, just whatever it is. And you're kind of like, you're longing for that, you're thirsting for that, for other people that can really understand the concepts that, you know, you have, and the views that you have, and the things that you are interested in and want to discuss. So we've also got the Seven of Wands. So this is definitely talking about, you know, some kind of spiritual awakening that might have taken place, this ascension journey that you're on. And, you know, maybe the people and things that you resonated with in the past, even, you know, like with that energy of divorce that was coming up, maybe even a partner that you resonated with in the past. And you just really don't resonate with that, with the people in your life, with your family, your community, maybe even, you know, a person that you're married to, or in the process of getting divorced from, or have gotten a divorce from, and you're kind of finding yourself sort of alone after this sort of ascension, this awakening, this kind of up-leveling, this kind of like stepping into your authenticity. And there's just really, you're not really having anybody on your level. You're not encountering anybody on your level. And you could also be getting a lot of pushback from others that at one point you resonated with, that are kind of, you know, you may have gone through a glow up, and, you know, these other people are kind of feeling triggered by that. They're trying to kind of bring you back down, or, you know, wanting you to kind of go back to sleep, to be on that kind of that mundane level with them. But you've really opened up. You've, you know, opened up your third eye. You've opened up your perceptions, your desires, your interests. You've opened up to more of a fullness of who you are. This very, you know, kind of eccentric and yet authentic expression of self. And so again, you could be kind of triggering a lot of people around you, or you're finding it very triggering that you're now alone at this point in time, after this sort of, you know, this spiritual awakening, this kind of, you know, death of the old lifestyle, kind of like an ego death that might have taken place as well. This kind of, also this, I feel like, this isn't like actual, like literal marriage or partnership. You could have really come to this point where you've achieved quite a union of the masculine and feminine polarities within self. And as this very like unified, centralized being that you are now, not really operating too much in, you know, the extremes of either wounded masculine or wounded feminine, but that some kind of like, again, like a homeostasis or a balance has been achieved. And even, you know, maybe amongst somewhat at one point in time like-minded individuals, you've done this leveling up, and, you know, other people may be in the process of kind of like getting there, but at this point in time on your journey, you're finding yourself kind of at this plateau, very kind of alone at this point in time. Maybe as others around you, others in your community are doing that work on themselves, but, you know, you're just not finding anyone you really resonate with yet. So we've also got the Two of Pentacles, and I feel that, I mean, this is typically a card of balance. So again, with that kind of, that balance of the masculine and feminine polarities, I feel that you have achieved this, you know, kind of a larger perspective about, you know, kind of the cycles of things, sort of the ebb and flow. But this, it's coming up to me, even though it's not like in reverse, but it's feeling almost like this kind of imbalance, like you're sort of just, you're going at it alone. And it almost feels like for some of you, you could be almost dealing with sort of these feeling like with concern, just with sort of these more difficult emotions of, you've done this work on yourself, you've gone through this spiritual awakening, and your life feels very out of balance in the sense that there's not a lot of other people around you, not a lot of people that are resonating with you. And so from the 3D perspective, it could appear very imbalanced, that you're just kind of going it in certain aspects alone. But beneath the surface, you actually have achieved quite a level of internal balance. And the fact that you're kind of going it alone, it's indicative that, the people maybe you previously were surrounded with, they're still operating from that imbalanced perspective themselves. And that's why you're not really having anyone to resonate with, because you're still kind of like on this journey trying to find those people that have done that work, that have made that commitment to self, made that commitment to, their spiritual growth, to their ascension journey, and that through that hard work and that perseverance and really that surrender and co-creation with spirit, that they've achieved that same level of awareness and kind of reconciliation of the polarities of self that you also have achieved at this point in time. So yeah, we've also got the 5 of Pentacles. So definitely this feeling of really being out in the cold right now. This could be kind of a lonely period for you, a period of, again, really kind of searching for that soul tribe, searching for those people that resonate, searching for that counterpart even, a romantic partner that really, understands you, understands the perspective that you have and shares similar values and perspectives themselves. So let's get some guidance from your higher self about all of this. Group 3. Okay, so we've got wandering path, enjoy the journey. So this is definitely your higher self. And we also had here with the journey card, this can be a confirmation that you're on some kind of twin flame journey, ascension journey, spiritual journey, awakening journey. That, with the journey, it's not a straight line, it's a meandering path. And what you might be experiencing now is kind of this feeling of isolation, this heaviness as you've kind of up-leveled, and now you're searching for people on, the echelon that you are on that really resonate with you, that have done that work, that have made that commitment to self. And so it's something that, your higher self, I feel, is just letting you know to really take some time, as difficult as it might be, to kind of look at this time where there might not be a lot of other people around or people that resonate with you, that this time is kind of a gift. This is some quiet time that, to really applaud yourself. You've done some hard work, and, when we come to these points where we're just kind of alone and we're not really having people that we're clicking with, it's because we've released a lot of maybe some old mindsets or old behavior patterns, maybe things that we were settling for, just kind of a narrower view of things, that as the perspective has widened, as you've really stepped into that authenticity, then the things that have kind of fallen away, the things that you don't really resonate with anymore, it's not that those things are bad or that they didn't, they weren't true or they didn't mean anything. They were very relevant for a certain level of awareness and ascension that you at one point were operating at, but you've done some major growth, some major evolution here. And so this is just, again, it's a path, and it's a wandering path. So your higher self wants you to know that this is not a forever thing. This is not going to be like, you'll never find anybody that, you resonate with. You'll never find that perfect partner. This is not that energy. Your higher self wants you to know that, this is just this leg of this journey. This is this solo time where it's you, your higher self, and spirit. And this is really an opportunity to connect more deeply with that, to really focus on the gratitude for kind of the unseen forces that are supporting you, your passed on loved ones, your angels, your spirit guides, your spirit team. If you resonate as a starseed, your galactic collective, your star family. You do have community with you. It might just be at this point that it's a community of spirit. So in time, you will, you're making your way to those who resonate with you with this level of awareness and this level of development and evolution that you're at now. And those people are out there too, probably feeling, lonely and isolated in the same way that you are. And, soul to soul, you're magnetizing yourselves to each other. That soul tribe is coming home. We also have grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. So again, your higher self just really wanting you to take the time to be very present in this energy, in this moment. Kind of reframe your perspective to one of maybe lack or loss, and to really just take the time to congratulate yourself on the hard work that you've done, the very difficult work of awakening and ascension. It's, definitely a spiritual awakening and ascension. It's not just all, happy and love and light. There's a lot of like dark, shadowy, kind of like lonely times and difficult things that are faced, that are felt, and that are processed. Again, like with this wandering path and this meandering journey, it's kind of like this, this winding your way through the light and the shadow aspects of self, of the experience with others, of the world, of emotions, of the soul. And so at this point in time where things might be kind of quiet and, there's not a whole lot of other people to kind of bounce ideas off of, or, really co-create with in a 3D sense, co-create like experiences, shared experiences and joy, that, you still have this ability to cultivate this gratitude within self, gratitude for where you're at, congratulating yourself for making the decision in this lifetime to really embark upon this journey of ascension, to do this very, difficult and challenging and yet rewarding and enriching work of the soul to, expand your horizons, expand your perspectives, expand the expression of your soul in this lifetime. And then in turn and in due time, you will magnetize in more expansive experiences with others than you may have even experienced previously up to this point. And we've also got discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. So your higher self again is just reminding you that, you're on this ascension journey. You have up leveled. You have had a glow up. That this time that you're finding yourself in, where there's not a lot of like-minded people around, maybe there's not a romantic partner that you're really clicking with that really has the same views of love and life and, spirituality and all of that. That's coming. That will come. At this point in time, your higher self just wants you to focus on, shining that light. Congratulating yourself on the hard work that you've done, this work of surrender and expansion, and to recognize that you are a beacon at this point in time for what is possible energetically for others to do as well, to really open their mind to something more, to more of an experience, more of an introspective journey, kind of that journey of questioning of, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of life? What is the purpose for me incarnating in this lifetime into these circumstances to, have these series of lessons and, these series of blessings and just that introspection that takes place. And, your higher self, again, just maybe encouraging you also to really take this time to, do some deep soul searching, really applaud yourself for all the growth that has happened, to uncover some other truths, maybe some, feelings of rejection that might be coming up right now, feelings of abandonment that this time period could really be bringing to the surface, that this is a time to shine the light on these things and to really, do some healing on that, so that when these other kind of like resonant people, these soul tribe members, these, these counterpart energies, this soulmate energy, when that really comes to you, that, you've done the work, you've taken, you've already done the work, but you're also utilizing this kind of like this quiet time, this time where there's maybe not a whole lot going on or not a whole lot of other people around you that resonate with you, that, this time wasn't in vain, that this time wasn't, just looked at with kind of a negative spin, but that you're looking at it like with gratitude as kind of a gift, as an opportunity to, do some more of that hard work, some more of that shadow work on maybe some things like, again, abandonment wounds or kind of these feelings of loss that now have been triggered to the surface. And you've got this opportunity here to really, love those parts of yourself as well, because they make up who you are. So let's get some more guidance from your higher self, group 3. Okay. And we've got trip the light fantastic, dance with the universe. So this is really your higher self letting you know that, again, this is a journey. This is a dance that you are in. And, you know, like with a dance, sometimes you lead and sometimes you follow. So this could definitely be a point in time where, you know, you led at a certain point. You accepted that offer of the spiritual awakening. You had an option to go back to sleep, to stay asleep, to refuse to embark on that journey of awakening, that journey of enlightenment, that journey of ascension. And you took the lead in that sense. You took the lead in your own life to do some healing, to do some, you know, some soul work, to really expand your mind and your perspectives. You took the initiative to, you know, allow what needed to be released to be released. And now you're finding yourself at a point in time where, you know, your job at this point is just to follow. Follow where you're being led. Follow, you know, the signs that you're getting, which ultimately will then lead you to others that you resonate with, to a soul tribe, to that soulmate, that counterpart. That, you know, in this dance of your soul in this lifetime, kind of this dance of sort of light and shadow, that, you know, you have already stepped into a much more luminous version of yourself. And, you know, this is not the end of the road. This is, you know, there is so much more luminosity for you to achieve and to experience and to exude. So your higher self, again, is just letting you know to really kind of maybe reframe the way that you're viewing your current circumstances. And that can be difficult, you know, if you're, again, you've gone through, like, divorce was coming up here, you know, this, you're not really resonating with people, and that, you know, that loneliness, that is truly very heavy. And, you know, you need to honor those feelings. You need to honor that heaviness. You need to allow yourself to experience those feelings of loss, feelings of regret, maybe feelings of abandonment. But at the same time, you know, your higher self wants to encourage you to, in whatever small way possible, to also take the time to view, you know, just this wondrous energy of accomplishment that, you know, you have partnered with your higher self and with spirit to get you to this point, and that this is not the end of the journey, that these things that have fallen away, this space that has been made in your life that you might be very acutely feeling, that space is there as an opportunity to be filled by those who, you know, better resonate with who you are as a soul, who you have evolved into, that really serve your highest good, that, you know, can really resonate with you more deeply even than you might have connected and resonated with people previously. So this is all temporary, and it definitely will pass. And, you know, your higher self just is encouraging you to be present with these feelings, for the full range of those feelings, both kind of like the dark light and, you know, the luminosity, because both of those kind of spectrums of light, you know, the heavier feelings and the lighter emotions, they have a place. They make up this very, you know, this balance. Like it was coming up here with this, you know, this balance you may have achieved between your masculine and feminine polarities. Masculine and feminine polarities are also kind of referred to as kind of like the light and shadow, the dark and the light polarities. And so what you're experiencing here, it will be balanced out with, you know, joy that will come to you. And in the interim, you know, take the time to become that light, become that joy for yourself in whatever small way possible. So let's get a final little affirmation card from your higher self, group 3. Okay, so we've got retreat. Never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment. So that's a beautiful summary to all of this energy and these higher self messages for you, group 3, of, you know, just this time that you find yourself in, that there might not be a whole lot going on, a whole lot of people you're resonating with, that you're clicking with, you know, even in a romantic sense, that, you know, this is really this quiet time, this won't be forever. That, you know, your higher self just again wants you to really take this time to kind of do some more work within, do some inventory, recognize these feelings that are coming in, and that this is an opportunity for healing. that this leg of this healing journey, you know, that it's the place that you're at now, the feelings that you have now, they're coming up for a reason. And so, you know, use this time, use this quiet time where there's not a lot going on to really nurture yourself, nourish yourself, cultivate joy in whichever ways you can in your life, and, you know, just continue to shine in your authenticity, in that eccentric energy, you know, just being that wonderful weird you. And by doing that, you do function as a beacon. And, you know, by standing in that beacon of self, by shining that out, you will magnetize in others who resonate with you, a soulmate, you know, who resonates with you, that romantic partnership, those friendships, those connections, those like-minded individuals that you're yearning for. They're making their way to you. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you did like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.